Excellent. Okay, let's go ahead and start. It's 6 o'clock. My name is Gabriella Dow, and I will be serving as a facilitator for this meeting. And of course, you're here for the Water Rate Adjustment Informational Meeting. I'm joined by Lisa Celaya. She's the Executive Assistant Director of Public Utilities for the City of San Diego. And also Katie Keach. She is the Program Coordinator for Public Utilities Department, also the City of San Diego. So we are planning on having a meeting until 7 p.m., and we're going to be seeing a 20 to 25-minute presentation. I want to say hello to the folks that are joining us via the city's YouTube channel. We are streaming this channel live. And I want to start for the folks that are here in person by just giving you some logistics in addition to the length of time that we plan on having. If anybody needs to use the restrooms, they're outside. You kind of just go around the curvature, so you can go out at any time. If you haven't had a chance to use the sign-in sheet, we would love for you to leave your information. And we can go ahead and get started, I think, with the presentation in just a moment. Perfect. Okay, so the first slide that we have here talks about the meeting purpose. Sorry that we had the podium, there we go. This is going to help out. So a lot of you, I think, saw the meeting invitations that were provided on social media or through the planning groups, and that's really the purpose of this meeting, is to get everybody updated and on the same page for this effort with our important resource like our water services. So what we want to cover in this presentation is what your water rates pay for, and we want to also cover the cost to provide clean and reliable drinking water citywide, and you're going to learn about the infrastructure to do that and what really it means to provide it to everybody who lives in the city of San Diego. Now, of course, we pay the water bills, and so there's going to be discussion about proposed future water rates, and we're also going to be hearing about what the next steps are going to be in this process. So this isn't a public hearing. Again, as an informational meeting, we want to have some great Q&A at the end of the meeting, but this is all in advance of an actual council meeting, where it will be more of a providing public testimony, recorded comments, that sort of thing. But we do want to make sure that we answer everybody's questions, and we left ample time to make sure that everybody gets a chance to be heard and gets a chance to receive the information that'll help you to understand the process here. So we have some ground rules. Of course, we're not in elementary school anymore, but in order to have the meeting flow smoothly, make sure that everybody's heard, these are the different rules as a facilitator that I hope we can all stick to. First, we want everybody to hold their questions until after the presentation. That way we can get through all of the information, and I think that you'll have a lot of questions after you see some of the photos and some of the charts and the information that we have here from the city to share. And then we are going to have one speaker at a time. We do want the folks that are online to be able to hear the questions. My colleague Rachel is going to go around with a microphone, and so she'll raise your hand, or maybe we'll start with one side of the room. Go ahead and ask your question, and then we do want to make sure that we're able to get to everybody. So please do be respectful and refrain from criticizing any of the questions. We want to hear what everybody has to say. We want to make sure that your questions do get answered, but we do also hope that you can stay on topic so that we can cover as much new material as possible. So obviously, if you want to get clarification on what somebody said, but we do want to give an opportunity to make sure we cover all the different issues, and most importantly, to make sure that everybody is able to be heard and get their questions answered. So we do ask you to limit some of the side conversations, any applause, not just so that everybody in the room can hear, but again, the folks that are watching through the YouTube live stream, it really makes it a lot easier for them to be able to hear as well. And then finally, if you can turn off your cell phone, or if you can set it to vibrate, that also helps for everybody to be able to hear and not have distractions. And we will make sure to get to everybody's questions in the time period that we have allotted. That's my job, once we get to the Q&A portion. Okay, so I think we have Katie starting with this slide here.
That's true. Good evening. Thank you all for being here. I am Katie Keach, Program Coordinator with Public Utilities, and our Executive Assistant Director, Lisa Celaya, and I are going to share with you an overview of our water rates. what they pay for, and why we're proposing rate adjustments for 2024 and 2025. So the Public Utilities Department is entirely reliant on ratepayer funds to operate the water system. The department gets no tax money, no money from the city's general fund to carry out this critical function. So our rate setting process is governed by state law. We can only charge our customers for the actual costs we incur to provide water service. We cannot generate a profit. And you'll hear us refer to this as the cost of service process. As part of that, the Public Utilities Department had an external consultant conduct our cost of service study. The study found that if the city's water rates remain unchanged, there will not be enough revenue to provide necessary water services for the next 2 years. The proposed rate increase will enable the city to make necessary infrastructure improvements and continue to provide clean and safe drinking water to our 1.4 million residents all day, every day. Our cost of service study and proposed rates have also been reviewed by the city's independent budget analyst and their own external consultant as an additional step the city takes to verify our proposals. And we'll talk more about that in the presentation. So our service area, as you can see on the slide, spans over 400 square miles and provides water to over 1.4 million people. This requires an extensive network, as you can imagine, and that includes 3,300 miles of water pipelines. We also manage and maintain 136 water pressure zones, 49 pump stations, 9 reservoirs, and 3 water treatment plants. Also, it's important to note the city must buy the vast majority of our water from a wholesaler. And in our case, that's the San Diego County Water Authority. This will dramatically change once the full Pure Water program is complete and provides us with control over a reliable source of drinking water supply. The city's water system is extensive, and while our customers like you have made great strides in conserving water, we still have to maintain the infrastructure. And we know this may seem illogical. How can using less water cost more? And we'll explain how that's the case as we go through the presentation tonight. So now let's talk about our water rates. I'm sure you look at your public utilities bill closely, and you've likely noticed your water charges are split into different line items. First, there's the water base fee or the meter base fee. This is the amount charged based on the size of the water meter serving your property. For most single-family customers, that would be a 3/4 inch or 1 inch meter. It changes dramatically for other sorts of customers. This pays for what we call fixed charges. They go toward the infrastructure, processes, and services that are required to keep the water system operating, no matter how much water is used. Second, there are the volumetric charges, or charges based on the actual water used in a billing period. These charges are broken into tiers for single-family customers based on how much water is used. And we'll talk more about that toward the end of our presentation. This is also referred to as the commodity charge. And now Lisa's going to walk us through where your money goes when you pay your water bill.
So good evening. I'm Lisa Slaya, the Executive Assistant Director for the Public Utilities Department. So commonly we get asked, where does the money go that we pay? We're going to explain how your money is used in a couple of different ways. On this slide, this is an overview of where each ratepayer dollar goes as a percentage of the department's budget for fiscal year 2024. Just as with each household and business, the city is also stretching the use of every dollar received based on impacts from inflation, global supply chain challenges, and the need to provide annual cost of living adjustments to our employees. First, you can see here that the largest amount by far goes to our actual purchase of water from our wholesale provider, the San Diego County Water Authority. We currently buy or import about 85 to 90% of our water. This purchase is the second largest expenditure by the city each and every year. The next largest chunk pays for costs associated with treating water and distributing water to our customers. From there, you fund water meter operations, meter reading, and customer support functions, then indirect costs, and finally, our Pure Water program, which recently passed the 30% completion of construction.
Now we're going to break it down a bit differently, and that's from an infrastructure perspective. When people hear the word infrastructure in San Diego, they may quickly think of our mayor's commitment to fix the roads, but infrastructure also includes all the things we talked about a few slides ago. The 3,300 miles of pipelines, the 49 pump stations, the 9 reservoirs, and the 3 water treatment plants. As you can probably guess, many of these assets are old. So from maintenance to repair to full replacement, we have an extensive improvement program. For the next 2 years, the time covered by our most recent cost of service study, 52% of our infrastructure investment will be in pipeline projects, the pipes that carry water throughout our water system. 40% of our investment will be on the city's Pure Water program, which will produce nearly half of our city's water supply when complete. And we also want to point out that we're starting to ramp up investment in what we call storage here. Storage involves our 9 reservoirs and our dams. So far more significant investments will be needed in future years, and those will be reflected in future cost of service studies. Now here's a closer look at the construction happening at the Pure Water facility in the northern part of the city. It's worth repeating that when both phases of Pure Water are complete, sometime around 2035, it will provide close to 50% of our water supply and help ensure water supply reliability. And these pictures are just a few feet of our 3,300 miles of pipelines throughout our city, which deliver clean drinking water for people and pets and plants in our homes, businesses, hospitals, schools, restaurants, parks, and more. And then here's a large distribution line in one of our water treatment plants. These are critical assets in our water system.
In addition to Katie highlighting our capital investment, significant investment is also required to operate our water utility to ensure we are able to produce quality water each and every day. The 9 dams we discussed earlier allow us to store nearly 500,000 acre-feet of water. This past year's significant rainfall in our extensive dam system allow us to utilize this stored water versus buying water from the San Diego County Water Authority. It's important to understand the relationship between the San Diego County Water Authority and the city's Public Utilities Department. We are not the same. The San Diego County Water Authority is a wholesaler, like Costco. They sell water to agencies like us for our customers. In June, they approved an overall rate increase of 9.5% to their member agencies, including us. For us, that translates to between 3 and 4% increase that we have to pass along to our customers. That is built into our proposed rate increase. Public Utilities strives to ensure reliable water service through our investment in replacing and rehabilitating our pipelines, as previously discussed. However, water line breaks do occur. Our goal is to ensure we minimize the impact on our customers through maintaining a system that has seen a steady decrease in water main breaks. Our efforts and investments are working. Our rate of 1 main break per 100 miles of pipeline last year was less than the industry standard. Key cost drivers to operate the water system that will be funding include continuing to improve customer service to ensure we achieve the level of service that we expect, including a functional, user-friendly portal for customers to utilize. Addressing maintenance and repairs at our dams, treatment facilities, and pipelines. Ensuring resilient operations that in all situations we can continue to provide water to all of our customers. And complying with current and future regulations, as such, our water quality is safe and meets all regulatory requirements.
We know our infrastructure and operations may be easy to ignore since you have clean water coming from your faucets every day without concern. So we want to give you a better sense of what that takes, from the largest facilities like our dams to the tools in our laboratories. Each process, team member, and facility is part of our total system. Much of our water system is underground and aging, and we maintain it and continually work to make improvements through dedicated workers that apply safety measures and best practices in all of our neighborhoods. So, sorry, I lost my place looking at the slides. We hope we've given you a better understanding of our complex water system, and we're guessing you still may be wondering why we're proposing higher water rates when our customers like you are using less water. And it's a common question. In short, whether you use 1 gallon of water per day or 1,000 gallons of water per day, we still need pipelines to carry that water, plants and chemicals to treat that water, reservoirs to store the water, pump stations to keep the water flowing. You get the picture. And beyond that, you won't be surprised to know that we're not immune from the increased costs of everything that we're all facing. So we've included here just a few examples of things we need in our water system and the impacts that we're seeing on costs. We pulled the liquid oxygen as an example because we're taking a new contract to the City Council for consideration soon. The price of this water treatment chemical has gone up 154% since our last contract 5 years ago. Overall, the water treatment chemicals costs at the city increased an average of 168%, and that's just since 2020.
All of the chemicals, equipment, infrastructure, and human skill we've discussed so far were all factors built into the rates we're proposing for the next 2 years. We want to provide you with a high-level summary of the cost of service process. To begin, Public Utilities identifies what is called the Water Utilities Revenue Requirement, which identifies the amount of money we need to not only operate and maintain our system, but key financial metrics, including a fiscally prudent debt service coverage ratio, or credit score, and reserve levels, or our savings accounts. With the assistance of an outside consultant, we then embark on identifying the cost of service to each of the customer classes based on how those customer classes use our system. How customers use our system take into consideration day-to-day usage plus peak demands. Customer classes are broad groups of our customers, like commercial customers, single-family residential customers, and multifamily residential customers. Building upon this, our rates are then designed to recover cost either on a fixed basis that doesn't change throughout the year and a volumetric basis, which will change based on an individual customer's usage each month, which we discussed earlier. This entire process is detailed in our cost of service study, which is available on the city's website and upon request. In recent years, the city has added an additional step to the process as a way to verify our proposed rates are truly needed. The Office of the Independent Budget Analyst hired Stantec Consulting Services, a consulting firm with expertise in rate development and evaluation, to conduct their own independent, in-depth review of the cost of service and proposed rate adjustments. Here you can see Stantec's findings and recommendations. All of Stantec's recommendations have been included in this cost of service study. Based on all the work discussed, the city is proposing a 2-year water rate increase effective December 1st of this year and another for January 1 of 2025. Included in these rates is the ability to allow the city to pass through any future rate increases from our region's water wholesaler, the San Diego County Water Authority, to our customers as we explained earlier. As we discussed earlier, there are two parts to your bill. On the left is and I apologize that these are kind of small, but these are in the cost of service in the public notice, on the left is the commodity rate. This is the table that depicts the proposed change as it relates to your individual monthly usage. The table on the right is the proposed changes for your fixed charge based on the size of your meter. We know there's a lot here, and these tables, as I said, are available as a handout, and they're included in the official notice that's been sent to all customers and on our website so you can review closely. In addition, we have developed a calculator on our website for individuals to determine their specific impact. Just as an example of how our proposed increases would impact one kind of customer, we've pulled out our single-family residential customer bill. Assuming an average usage of 9 HCF or 6,400 gallons, the single-family typical bill is currently $81.07 per month. The proposed monthly increase would move to $86.11 per month starting on December 1st of this year, which is $5.06 average monthly rate increase. For this same example, their average single-family residential, for the same single-family residential customer example, the proposed rates would increase in 2025 to $93.55. We know that this is considered a significant increase for many of our customers. A change is also being proposed to our rate structure as it relates to the number of tiers for single-family residential customers. Currently, we have 4 tiers, and we are proposing to reduce this to 3. This reflects updated customer usage data since our last cost of service study in 2015 and depicts the permanent conservation efforts this region has achieved. So what does that mean, and how did we come up with these tiered thresholds? The first tier, up to 5 HCF per month, is trying to capture indoor water usage for those customers that don't have much landscaping. This aligns with the state's efficiency standards, and it would be noted that based on our usage, nearly 50% of usage would be in this category, which is an increase from our prior 4-tiered structure. The second tier will be up to 11 HCF per month and is based on our customers' average use during the summer, which is generally when our demand peaks with outdoor water usage. And then everybody else above 12 would be in our tier 3. This graph compares water agency rates throughout our region. The green line is the average. In comparison with other agencies across the region, the city's water rates in yellow are and will remain below the average of $91.83 per month for the next year. Since it's hard to see, the yellow bar on the left shows the city's current rates, and the yellow bar on the right shows the proposed rates for next year. It should also be noted that it is anticipated that many other agency rates will increase on January 1st to pass through the rate increases by the San Diego Water Authority to customers.
So we obviously understand that these are difficult times. This slide highlights programs that the city has utilized at the federal and state level to provide relief to many of our customers. That includes $19.7 million distributed to 21,000 customers through COVID Arrearage Relief Program. And also $750,000 has been distributed to 572 customers from the state's low-income household water assistance program so far. That program has been extended till the end of the year at least by the state. And we have more information about water relief options on our website. It's important to note also that water and wastewater are the only utilities that do not have ongoing relief programs that are from the federal and state level. These have only been temporary programs. So we continue to advocate as a city for more relief programs across the board as an ongoing option for our customers that need them. So we also want to make sure our customers understand the rest of the process for this rate setting. The official notice of the public hearing on our proposed rates was mailed on July 25th to all of our customers. That might be why you're all here. That notice includes the process available to customers to protest our proposed rates. We are having community information meetings like this one to give customers the opportunity to learn more and ask your questions. And the public hearing will occur on September 19th. That's when the City Council will consider our proposed rates. If approved at that point, we will notify our customers of the upcoming changes, and the changes will be reflected starting December 1st. We hope this information has been helpful, and we hope you at least have a better understanding of our rate setting process and also the complexity of our water system. And with that, we're going to hand it back to Gabriella, and she's going to walk us through the question and answer portion of the meeting.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, so now that we're moving into the question portion, my colleague Rachel is going to be coming around. She'll hold on to the microphone, and I think maybe we'll start with this side. She'll come up and down the rows and let everybody ask their questions. We're going to do our best to answer every question that is asked. If there is something that we cannot answer, there are question cards near the sign-in sheet. And so we can stay after and write down the specific information and question you had so that somebody can get back to you with that information. Also, I just want to remind you, as I mentioned during the opening, that this question and answer section is not being recorded. It's not being placed on the record. So this is not the place where we're going to have comments on the record. The official recorded process, Katie just covered some of it, and it is explained in the 218 notice that was mailed to all customers in the city of San Diego. We have extra copies available